Hey guys, what's up? It's Adam from GeekRest.com, and this is the 7th day comic book news video. I used to call it a recap video, but now it's really, we're just talking about the things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
A little bit more selective. But.
Recapping news, but, you know, it's like kind of, you know, we pick what we want to talk about, we talk about it. So, you know, it's Aaron from a comic shop, in a comic shop.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about comics first.
Yes. Censorship. Not really. I don't know what the hell it was. This past week, there was this whole big issue with Saga, number 12. It wasn't released immediately to, I guess... iTunes, the Apple Store. And then Brian K. Vaughan went on Twitter. He's just like, oh, Apple's not carrying it. There's gay sex. It's because of the gay sex. I mean, I put it in quotes because that was the inflammatory statement that
there's
got everyone going.
Two postmark size, postage stamp size images.
Yeah, the TV head
Yeah,
guys.
the TV guy. He got shot in the neck and he's like, this sucks dick.
Yeah.
And so that was
there you go. It's, you know,
it's not for shock value. It's just to show you what goes on the screen is what they think. So,
right.
You know.
And it turns out it wasn't Apple necessarily who banned the book. It was, or it was Comixology. I'm still really confused about this whole thing.
Yeah, like Comixology didn't send it to Apple, or Comixology did something where they self-censored it.
Apparently, Comixology read Apple's terms of service.
Yes,
and
they
said maybe we shouldn't be doing this, so they held back. When I guess Apple was like, no, it's okay. But it raised the question, well, there's two sides to every story, and
how fast things spread with the internet and with Twitter, that I had a bunch of text messages on my phone of people angry at Apple, and I just jumped on the bandwagon. I'm like, F Apple. I mean, even though I'm going to go to the gym with my iPod, screw Apple.
Everyone's plugging in. But it raised a lot of, questions about, well, they got to clean things up a little bit. There can't be this confusion, especially now in this day and age when distributors are going outside of Diamond, and all these gatekeepers are out there now. And I say gatekeepers because, Amazon, Google, BlackBerry, Apple, they control the content just as much as, anyone now.
And the idea was, well, if we get digital, it's not going to be all these grumpy old comic shop owners being the gatekeepers keeping this perv stuff out of the stores, but then, you have the Puritans there. The bottom line, though, is it got a lot of attention for Saga, which is great. And, maybe that's obviously the silver lining.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be conspiratorial and say that's the whole point.
Oh, conspiracies.
But Image has been complaining about how Saga keeps selling out, keeps, having all this big fanfare, but yet each issue's orders are about the same. So why not get a big controversy and get it on everyone's mouth? So.
Yeah. Thank you, Apple, for doing nothing. Really?
For having vague terms of service.
Clean it up, though, because it's a new day and age, and we need, our books on time. No more confusion.
Yeah, and I didn't know how that was necessarily gay, because, we got this little snapshot. We saw a penis, but the other person could have been a girl with short hair.
Could have been.
You
couldn't tell because it was like...
Yeah, it was cropped.
It was a little thing.
That doesn't necessarily mean it was gay.
And plus, Apple's new CEO is like the most powerful gay man in Silicon Valley. He's not going to be...
And, the guy... Yeah, anyway. Moving on.
Give us our books. And another thing that was revealed this past week was the cancellation of Winter Soldier, which, they don't really announce the cancellation. They just... The solicits stop coming, and then usually an artist or creator says, it's not happening anymore. It ran till issue number 19, which comes out in June, and then that's it. I mention this because I'm sad, in a sense. I love this book. I love Winter Soldier. The character is primed and ready to go. We got Captain America. This is the movie coming up, with the Winter Soldier in the title. So, they're clearly they'd be stupid not to relaunch this book.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll relaunch it.
With the Marvel Now title or something.
To me, Jason Latour is, I like him on indie stuff that he's done. He's, best buds with Jason Aaron. He's a good guy, but, he didn't have a shot. He didn't really have a chance. This was Brubaker's character that Brubaker created and nurtured over Cap and the whole run of Winter Soldier. Yep. When Brubaker was gone, unfortunately, a lot of the fans were gone with him because they were Brubaker fans. So for our pull list for that, it was just like boom. From the one issue to the next, it was free fall.
Yeah.
Like no one gave him a shot at even one issue, because with Marvel now fighting for all the dollars of all these number ones and all the marketing and all that going to Marvel now,
he jumped onto a sinking ship. But I mean, the sales were weird because I mean it did all right, and then it kind of went down, and then Brubaker was going to be leaving, or weren't they going to cancel this book? Like
that was the buzz that it was going to kind of be canceled.
And then they're like, oh wait, our sales are actually doing all right. Brubaker, but Brubaker like already decided to leave.
Right.
But what was so good about this book is that Winter Soldier was, I don't know, Brubaker. I mean, he was off it when it was now, but when he was writing it, I feel like he had more of a personal investment in Winter Soldier than he did Captain America.
Right.
Maybe because it was a better like you can't change Captain America's character. You can't shape it too much.
And Winter Soldier was his baby.
Winter Soldier, though.
The first volume of his Captain America was called Winter Soldier,
and
where
it's
he
really good.
Introduced Bucky. Yeah, it was great. But you can still get Bucky by Nick Spencer in Secret Avengers for now.
Yes.
So.
But, so Marvel, of course, I'm pretty sure they're going to just, stop it now, wait. They realize Captain America's a year away, so put it on pause. They'll release a collection, I'm sure. And then Marvel now will probably have a new Winter Soldier title. Or Nomad.
No, it has to be
happen.
in line with the movie marketing.
Yeah, they're gonna bring him back into the Marvel.
They'll bring it back when they'll have a collection volume 1 for the movie. So
exactly
6-7 months before the movie actually hits, you'll have a new number 1 for sure.
Sad to see it go, but looking forward to what's coming. And another thing that's coming up that should be exciting is the DC Villains Month.
Yeah, September surprise.
Yeah, it's no real official confirmation per se, but what was it? What was the solicitation that came out? It was for the collection.
Yeah,
it was Amazon, right?
Amazon gets their solicitations way earlier than comic book stores, since they're the vehicle that supports everything.
Yeah.
But
Gatekeeper.
Villains. They've done this before. In the past, it was kind of gimmicky covers.
Yeah, every September. There was the launch of the New 52 in September. Then the next year we got the Zero issues, or the Zero month, which basically was a month of one shots. Pretty much, they put every storyline on hold.
You got 20 pages of an origin.
Yeah.
So,
basically.
Some were good, some were like, more.
Yeah, it's the big concern that everyone had when they found out they were doing a Villains Month. So I guess now this September, it's going to be every major title will carry the name of the villain. I guess most appropriate to that title.
That's awesome, actually.
I mean, Batman would have Joker, Riddler, who knows?
Yeah, now that there's
Aquaman.
all the different Bat books, each one could be a different villain.
Yeah, I know.
Problem solved.
Rogues Gallery, the Suicide Squad. It's going to be a hero.
Could be. What I was saying was they did this back several years ago with Faces of Evil. New Year's Evil, No, it was January, so it was New Year's Evil, Faces of Evil, and it was the faces.
Yep.
And this. If it really is the antagonist being the narrator, then that first person point of view of evil, that's freaking awesome.
It's good.
So I'm excited about that, and it's nice to see DC have a unifying theme of the whole 52, because every week, every month is like the new 52, and it's like, how is this linked?
Yeah.
Like even their thing where it was going to be the WTF certified branding over the whole thing of these are all jaw-dropping moments. And then it's like, oh, who needs unified branding?
Yeah.
So anything that's like a unified theme for the New 52, which is touted as being this unified thing, a 52 shared universe thing, is cool in my book. So, if you like a few of these villain books and you really want more villain stuff, one thing that I hope they do out of this is have a couple Zero news things that continue, like a villain book that is completely from the villain's point of view. I would like to see at least one thing like that. I've been wanting a crime book from DC for the longest time. Just straight crime genre.
Right.
But,
like you said, also the Zero issues were hit and miss because a lot of them were one shots, and they went back to a lot of origin stories. But a lot of these origins couldn't be told in just one book. So a lot of the books came off a little half baked or a little rushed, these were the complaints that fans had with the Zero month idea. So, but with the Villains book, you're just switching perspectives. You could still be in the same continuity.
Right.
They could still carry a story, and I don't know. That's smart.
20
That's
pages of
exciting to
a
me.
villain, because a lot of times the villains pop up in the book and they have all these machinations, this secret plot they've been doing,
Yeah.
and we really didn't see them building. We might have seen a little subplot page here or there, but
Yeah.
we know the villain's plotting this, and the hero doesn't know that. We know that as the reader, and then when they show up in the book, they're like, booyah, and
Yeah.
that's the continuation.
Right.
So it's set up for success, at least.
And then, Snyder and all the Batman books, they kind of explored that with the death of the family. They did those little back issues where, what was Joker doing,
Yeah,
behind the
the
scenes
backups
before
of-
the main story.
Yeah, it's like
That was
the
cool.
machinations,
Yeah, I mean,
moving
that's
the chess
good.
pieces around.
Yep. So DC Villains Month in September, it's a good opportunity.
Snyder on Lex Luthor.
Bring it. And one exciting thing to mention was the announcement from Valiant Comics that they're going to be partnering with Dynamite and Dynamic Forces to release a line of merchandise.
Nice.
They're getting their party favors. Valiant's awesome. Anytime I get a chance to talk about Valiant, I'm happy because these guys they relaunched. They got Best Publisher of the Year with like less than 5% of the market share. They're steamrolled. They're
It
awesome.
was all win. Like every book they
Everything.
put out was a win.
Yep.
And just their marketing, their convention presence, the fact that when I asked them, I was like, I was just hanging out with them at this after party they had at San Diego. I was like, why don't you have a booth at San Diego? And they're like, well, we could do San Diego, or we could do 10 other conventions for the same price as San Diego and just really get our feelers out there.
Right.
And they still did an open bar party at San Diego, so that was fun.
Nice.
But they're smart. And, Dynamic Forces are the ones that did the Watchmen toaster, so,
Oh yeah, well, that's a win right there. But I mean, these two guys, Dinesh Shamdasani and Jason Kothari, and Baruchi too is he's going to mention. I mean, these are two guys. They were just like business students. They grew up with Valiant Comics, and Dinesh especially. He has a photo from his birthday party, and he's got a little Valiant cake. I had a Valiant birthday cake when I was a kid. A little bloodshot cake. It was all white, with the red.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was like an Imperial Japan party, but I had that cake, and these guys were fans, and they pooled their money. They got investors, and they
smart.
bought these characters, and they pretty much saved these characters and properties. However, when they did acquire these properties, Nick Barucci was one of the lead guys leading a lawsuit against them, saying, well, we put placeholders down on some of these properties. There was a court battle. He didn't win. Dinesh, and Jason won, and Valiant became what it is today. But now Nick Barucci is the head CEO of Dynamite Forces, who are now, so he's working with these guys now again. It's just a little, the more you know pop-up video history
He's a
of
cool
these two.
guy. He's a cool guy. I like that guy.
He's a cool guy. He's been around for a while.
He's fun, but and I like the idea when they had the Valiant intellectual properties and they were going to put out. I got some ash can with great art in it, but the thing with this Valiant relaunch isn't the art; it's the writers, letting the writers do what they want, and really kicking ass with modern storytelling in a modern world. And I couldn't be happier. And if Dynamite and Dynamic Forces can do great merchandising, fine, let them do the merchandising. That's awesome. I want some merchandise.
I want it.
And, it's not dividing Valiant's people from doing great comics.
Nope.
So,
We're talking
win-win.
Posters, lithographs, statues, and they already released, a little teaser image of the lithograph that's coming. But exciting stuff. Valiant, keep doing what you're doing. You guys have had a tremendous run. It's only been a year.
And they're listening to the fans. Quantum and Woody's coming. That's
Quantum and Woody?
With the GOAT. That's the
So
most
good.
requested book, at all the cons and everything. That's what I asked. I was like, Quantum Woody.
Although, if people didn't know who Harbinger was in the beginning, I don't know how Quantum and Woody's going to grab him, but I have faith.
It's a freaking GOAT. That's
It's a goat.
awesome.
I mean, yeah,
Come
do
on.
it.
It'll at least sell in the Muslim world.
At least. Your market's sold.
They love goats, right?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think it's good. Someone, we'll look it up. And that's pretty much it as far as the topics we wanted to talk about from last week's news. There's a ton of stuff out there. He's talking about it. I'm talking about it online. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter as always. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.